The crying came again. Jonah Briggs sat stiff in his wooden chair, his shotgun across his knees, while the blizzard beat his cabin like angry fists. The walls groaned. The roof shook. Snow scraped the window with a dry, sharp sound, like bones dragging across glass. Jonah did not move. He had heard many sounds on Mercy Ridge: wolves, falling branches, dying horses, men begging after bad choices. But this sound was smaller, softer, a child's cry, weak and broken, almost lost inside the wind. Jonah's jaw tightened. "No," he muttered. "Not my trouble." He stared at the fire. Pine smoke filled the cabin. The room smelled of ash, wet leather, old coffee, and cold iron. On the hook beside the door hung a red wool scarf. It had not been touched in 12 years. His wife Mary had worn that scarf the night she died. Jonah looked away from it fast, like it had spoken his name. The cry came again. This time it sounded closer. Jonah stood so quickly the chair scraped the floor. His bad knee burned, but he grabbed the lantern and went to the door. His hand stopped on the latch. A memory hit him. Mary's blue lips, his own bloody hands, his voice cracking as he had begged for help in town. Doors had stayed shut that night. Curtains had moved, but no one came out. After that, Jonah learned one thing: a closed door could kill just as fast as a gun. He breathed hard through his nose. "Wind," Jonah said. "Only wind." Then something hit the door. Not hard, not like a man. More like a body that had no strength left. Jonah lifted the latch. The door flew open, and the storm threw snow into his face. Cold bit his skin. The lantern flame bent sideways. For 1 second, Jonah saw nothing but white. Then he looked down. A young woman lay in the snow. Her dress was frozen stiff. Her brown hair was full of ice. Her arms were wrapped around a little boy, maybe 5 years old. The boy's face was pressed to her chest, and his lips were turning gray. Jonah froze. The woman opened her eyes a little. "Please," she whispered. Jonah did not answer. The boy gave a tiny sound, not even a cry now. Just a weak breath, like the last air leaving a broken flute. Jonah's hands shook around the lantern. "No," he said again, but this time the word had no strength. The woman tried to lift the child toward him. Her fingers were red, cracked, and stiff from cold. "Take him," she whispered. "His name is Samuel." Jonah stepped back. "I don't take in strangers." The woman's eyes filled with fear. "Then take in the child," she said. "Hate me after." That sentence struck Jonah in the chest. He stared at her. Snow was already covering her legs. If he shut the door, both of them would be dead before morning. If he opened his heart even a little, old pain would come walking in with them. The mountain gave Jonah no time to choose slowly. The boy stopped moving. Jonah cursed under his breath and dropped the lantern. He grabbed the child first, then hooked one arm under the woman's shoulders and dragged them inside. The boy felt too light, too still. The woman's wet dress left a dark line across Jonah's floor. Jonah kicked the door shut. The cabin went quiet except for the fire and the woman's weak breathing. "Don't die on my floor," Jonah snapped, though his voice shook. "I don't have patience for it." He laid Samuel near the hearth, but not too close. He had seen frozen skin burn from sudden heat. He tore one blanket in half with his knife, then wrapped the boy's hands and feet. The wool scratched Jonah's palms. The boy's skin felt like river stone. The woman tried to sit up. "Samuel," she gasped. "Stay down," Jonah said. "You fall over again, I'll leave you there." "You won't," she whispered. Jonah looked at her. Even near death, she had heard the lie in him. He heated water in a tin cup, not boiling, warm, slow. His fingers remembered what his heart wanted to forget. He rubbed Samuel's little hands. He pressed warm cloth to the boy's neck. He checked the woman's breathing. "What's your name?" Jonah asked. "Ellen. Where's the man who left you out there?" Ellen's eyes moved away. That was answer enough. Jonah's mouth went dry. A man had done this. Or maybe more than one. Maybe the same kind of men who stood behind curtains and watched Mary die. Ellen gripped his sleeve. "If he comes," she whispered, "do not give Samuel to him." Jonah looked at the door. Outside, the wind screamed down the ridge. "Who?" Jonah asked. Ellen's lips trembled. "A wagon boss named Harlan Pike. He says Samuel belongs to him because of my debt." Jonah's face hardened. "No child belongs to a debt." Ellen started crying then, but no sound came out. Only tears slipping down her cold face. Jonah turned away because her tears were too much like Mary's last night. Then he saw it. Around Samuel's neck, half hidden under ice and torn cloth, was a red wool scarf. Jonah stopped breathing. His red wool scarf still hung by the door, but this one was the same color, same stitch, same little black thread in the corner. Mary's stitch. Jonah crossed the room slowly and touched the scarf around Samuel's neck. His fingers shook so badly he almost dropped it. "Where did you get this?" he asked. Ellen's eyes opened. She looked from Jonah to the scarf, and fear changed into something worse. Recognition. "You're Jonah Briggs," she whispered. Jonah's chest tightened. "Yes." Ellen reached into her frozen coat with shaking fingers and pulled out a small oilskin packet. It was tied with thread and stiff with snow. She pushed it toward him. "Mrs. Chen said, if I reached your cabin, I should give you this." Jonah stared at the packet. Mrs. Chen, the laundry woman from town. The woman who had stood outside the general store 3 days ago, begging Jonah to help find a young mother and child. Jonah had told her the mountain took what it wanted. Then he rode away. Now that same mother lay on his floor. Jonah took the packet. Inside was a folded letter. On the outside, in faded writing, was his name, Jonah Briggs, and under it were 4 words that made the room spin. From Mary's last night. Before Jonah could open it, Samuel's body jerked. The boy sucked in one sharp breath. Then he went still again. Ellen screamed his name. Jonah dropped the letter, fell to his knees beside the child, and pressed his ear to Samuel's chest. For one terrible second, Jonah heard nothing. Only the storm, only the fire, only Mary's scarf moving softly by the door. Then something heavy slammed against the cabin from outside. A man's voice roared through the blizzard. "Open up, Briggs. The woman and boy are mine." Jonah looked at Ellen. Ellen looked at Samuel, and the letter from Mary lay unopened in the ash beside Jonah's hand. The man outside hit the cabin door again. The wood shook. Snow fell from the roof in a heavy slide. Ellen pulled Samuel close, but the boy still did not move right. His breath came small and weak, like a candle trying not to die. Jonah stood slowly. His shotgun was by the chair. The letter from Mary was still on the floor, unopened, with ash touching one corner. Harlan Pike shouted again. "Open this door, old man! That woman owes me money. The boy pays the debt." Jonah picked up the shotgun. His hands were cold, but his voice was colder. "A debt with a child's name on it is not a debt," Jonah said. "It is a sin wearing a coat." Ellen looked up at him. For the first time, Jonah saw she was not only scared, she was ashamed too. That made him stop. "What did you do?" Jonah asked. Ellen swallowed hard. "I stole bread from his wagon." Jonah's eyes narrowed. "For the boy?" Ellen nodded. "Samuel had not eaten in 2 days. Harlan caught me. He said I could work it off. Then he said Samuel would be easier to sell than feed." Jonah's stomach turned. Outside, Harlan laughed like he could hear them. "You got 1 minute, Briggs." Jonah turned to the door, then stopped. He looked down at Mary's letter. For 12 years, Jonah had blamed the whole town. He had carried that blame like a hot coal in his chest. It burned him, but he would not drop it. Now Mrs. Chen's name sat inside that packet like a question. Why had Mary's last words come through her? Jonah bent, picked up the letter, and opened it with stiff fingers. The writing was weak and shaky. "Jonah, if this reaches you, forgive Mrs. Chen. She came. She tried. Her horse fell in the storm. She held my hand until she was forced back by the cold. Do not let grief make you hate the only person who tried." Jonah stopped reading. The room tilted. Mrs. Chen had come? Mrs. Chen, the small laundry woman with tired eyes and soap-cracked hands, had tried to save Mary? Jonah remembered her standing outside the store 3 days ago. Her gray shawl smelled of lye soap and smoke. She had said, "A mother and child are lost near the ridge. Please, Mr. Briggs." And Jonah had answered, "Let the mountain keep what it takes." Now those words came back like a knife. Ellen whispered, "Mrs. Chen said you were hard but not empty." Jonah's face twisted. "She was wrong," he said. Then Samuel made a tiny sound. "Ma!" Ellen cried out and held him tighter. Jonah dropped beside them and pressed warm cloth to Samuel's chest. The boy's skin was still too cold. His lips were still pale. Jonah knew the truth. The cabin was not enough. Samuel needed the strong fever tea Mrs. Chen made from willow bark and mountain root. Mary had used it once when Jonah nearly froze his lungs. But Mrs. Chen was down in town, and town was 2 miles below the ridge through a blizzard that could bury a horse. Jonah looked at the door. Harlan was outside. The storm was outside. The past was inside. Jonah had to choose. Ellen gripped his sleeve. "Do not leave us." Jonah looked at Samuel's red scarf. Mary's stitch sat in the corner like a small black star. "I left one woman alone with the cold," Jonah said. "I won't do it twice." He stood and walked to the door. Ellen shook her head. "He will shoot you." Jonah lifted the shotgun. "Then he better shoot straight." Jonah opened the door before fear could close his hand. Harlan Pike stood in the snow with 2 horses behind him and a pistol in his glove. He was a wide man with a black beard full of ice. His leather coat creaked when he moved. The smell of horse sweat and frozen tobacco came in with the wind. Harlan smiled. "There you are." Jonah aimed the shotgun at his chest. "Ride down to town," Jonah said. "Bring Mrs. Chen. Bring her medicine. You do that, and maybe I let you leave this ridge breathing." Harlan blinked. Then he laughed. "You think you give orders now?" Jonah's voice did not rise. "No, I give choices." Harlan raised his pistol. Before Jonah could fire, another sound came from the white storm. A bell. Small, thin, fast. A mule bell. Jonah turned. A dark shape came up the ridge through the blowing snow. A small mule pulled a sled. On that sled sat Mrs. Chen, wrapped in a gray shawl, her face cut red by the cold. Her hands held the reins like iron. Behind her, tied to the sled, were 2 sacks and a lantern. Harlan cursed. Old woman should have stayed in town. Mrs. Chen did not stop. She looked at Jonah and shouted, "Move, fool! I did not climb this cursed hill to watch another child die." Jonah felt those words hit him harder than Harlan's fist ever could. Another child. Mrs. Chen knew. She had carried her guilt for 12 years, while Jonah carried his anger. Harlan turned his pistol toward her. That was his mistake. Jonah fired. The blast cracked through the storm. Harlan's pistol flew from his hand, and he fell back into the snow screaming. The horses broke loose and ran into the white dark. Jonah did not chase them. He pulled Mrs. Chen inside. Her clothes were stiff. Her hands shook. But she pushed past Jonah and knelt by Samuel. "Hot water," she snapped. Jonah moved. "Blankets." He grabbed them. "Hold his feet. Not too close to the fire." Jonah obeyed. Mrs. Chen worked fast. She poured dark tea between Samuel's lips, drop by drop. The cabin smelled bitter, like roots, smoke, and wet wool. Ellen rocked back and forth, whispering her son's name. Jonah watched Samuel's chest. Up, down, still weak. But there. Mrs. Chen looked at Jonah. "You read the letter?" Jonah nodded. His throat felt full of stones. "I hated you," he said. Mrs. Chen's eyes filled, but her hands stayed busy. "I know. You tried to save Mary. I was too late." Jonah looked at Samuel. "So was I." Mrs. Chen shook her head. "Late is not the same as never." That line broke something in Jonah. He sat back on the floor. His shotgun slipped from his hand. For the first time in 12 years, Jonah cried. Not loud, not pretty, just hard, silent tears that made his chest shake. Ellen reached out and touched his sleeve. Jonah did not pull away. By morning, the storm had not fully passed. The world outside was still white and cruel. Harlan was gone, limping down the ridge with one good hand, and no horse. Jonah knew trouble might come later. Men like Harlan did not disappear because one old man scared them. But Samuel opened his eyes. He looked at Jonah and whispered, "Are we dead?" Jonah let out a broken laugh. "No, boy," he said. "Not today." Ellen cried into Samuel's hair. Mrs. Chen sat by the fire, shaking from cold and age. Jonah took Mary's red scarf from the hook by the door. For 12 years, it had been a warning, a wound, a reason to shut the world out. Now Jonah wrapped it around Samuel's shoulders. Ellen looked at him. "It was your wife's." Jonah nodded. "Yes," he said, "and she was better at sharing warmth than I was." No one smiled big. No one acted like pain had vanished. Mary was still gone. Jonah's years of anger were still real. Ellen still had fear in her eyes. Mrs. Chen still carried old guilt in her bent back. But the door was open a crack. A little light came through. Jonah looked at Mrs. Chen. "When the road clears, you'll stay for supper." Mrs. Chen raised one eyebrow. "That an order?" Jonah shook his head. "No, he said. A start. Then Samuel reached out with one small hand and held the edge of the red scarf. Jonah placed another log on the fire. Outside, Mercy Ridge stayed frozen. Inside, 4 broken people sat close to the flames, not healed, not whole, but alive. And for Jonah Briggs, alive was more than he had allowed himself to be for a long, long time. The end.